pretty much all about the face and everything else of the NFL. I get it. I was one of the people who would sit around and joke about how Roger Goodell got rid of, big hard hits in the NFL and things like that. That, the only thing in the NFL you could hit was your wife and your kids. Like, I was the first one to say that. I believe in the no fun league. But he needs to worry about what's on the field and not what's off the field, because I think it's funny that he sits around and talks about all of this, but the whole time you've got the Hall of Fame saying, hey, O.J. Simpson, you're out of jail now. Why don't you come to the Hall of Fame deal? Because we don't look at your off-field, we look at your on-field.
Oh, you know what was hilarious, though?
I'll tell you what's fucking hilarious.
Go on.
Is on Friday when all of this stuff gets announced, the NFL announces, hey, well, we're not really going to get that suspension, so we're going to go and suspend a free agent by the name of Josh Brown, who was the former Giants kicker.
I'm glad we're on the same
agent,
page.
6 games. They're going to suspend him 6 games, and he's not even on a team.
Chase, do you know what free agent means?
He's a free agent.
It means anybody can sign you. You know, if you stay a free agent a really long time, you know what that means?
No one's signing you.
You're not in the league.
No.
You're washed up. You know who else is a free agent? Tim Tebow. You know who's not going to play quarterback anytime recently? Tim Tebow. How about Johnny Manziel?
But here's the
free
thing
agent.
Is Josh Brown has the opportunity to kick field goals 10 yards less in the Canadian Football League.
No. Look. Right. And so this is, that's the hilarious thing, is that so many times, I kind of get it, but they think that they could just go back in time and make it better. It's like you have to do it the right timing
and
for it to look right. Listen,
Josh Brown is sitting here
Josh Brown
why the
beat
fuck?
his wife. Josh Brown, I don't know.
Josh Brown did end up confessing he did have domestic violence.
So,
he got a 1-game suspension.
An actual domestic violence abuser.
So, and he had a 1-game suspension.
Exactly. Okay, but the thing is, look, at the time, I think the reason why he only got 1 game is that he hadn't confessed to not all the facts. His wife hadn't come out to say everything, and it was just maybe some question marks.
So he got 1 game.
He got 1 game, but not everything was known. So then everything was known. The Giants cut him. And nobody was ever gonna sign him again because
except for maybe Jerry Jones
said he was a domestic violence abuser.
If Dan Bailey messed up,
would not go after
Jones.
Brown.
Jones loves giving the boys to drink something about, and you know what the boys like to
stay on top.
I am. I'm saying that,
the point was people would bring up Josh Brown, and say, "Hey, how did he only get 1 game and Zeke got 6?" Well, now the NFL. 4 months later, 5 weeks later, whatever, their timing is way off. They try to be like, oh yeah. Wait, no, you're right. Josh Brown did get 6 games.
Josh Brown did get 6 games.
A
year.
And they tried to post it at 4:30 in the afternoon, right when the Zeke news was supposed to come down.
Exactly. We got to find something to talk about. We've got to get the tension off of it.
It's the most ridiculous stuff.
So, long story short. Zeke gonna play.
How long have we been talking, Chase?
Dude, we've been talking for 18 minutes.
Good, I like it. A good old 20-minute segment on Zeke, because that's what we deserve. And you know what? Honestly, the total collective amount of time that's been spent on the airwaves talking about Zeke Elliott is probably in like the millions of hours.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot.
I mean, local Dallas radio here, I think they did a 4-hour show.
24 hours?
Yeah.
24 hours.
It's pretty much like, Zeke took a shit today, but we still have no word on if he will play.
And you know what? We're going to get it for the rest of the year because the judge filed a paper. Zeke story.
Well, but the thing
we're going to get it for a year.
Is how the NFL handled it
Some
by
people are
saying,
tired. Some people are ready for some football. Are you ready for some football?
The NFL handled
some Monday night football.
This is my only, and that's exactly what the NFL did. They said, "Hey, biggest game of the year so far. We're going to have Zeke on that." They're basically saying, "We're going to let you play week 1, and then we'll start it out."
That was because the rule is if the suspension doesn't come down by Tuesday, then you're not suspended.
Right.
So they were late. So it was going to be week 2 too late.
It's why are you not going to have him play?
And now some people were like, hey, the whole thing looks like it's a Giants conspiracy because of the whole Lisa Friel was a Giants fan.
Right.
She's connected to the Maras who own the Giants. They're like, oh yeah, sure. play against the Giants, make it look fair. And then, Beast is going against everybody else. Well, Zeke's going to play the entire season, guys. So what does that mean for the Cowboys going forward?
So right now, the Cowboys are leading the league with suspension. So they got Zeke back. That's great news.
They do have a lot of question marks.
They are missing 3 people. They've got
true.
David Irving, DeMontre Moore, and Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory's out indefinite. The other 2 are out 4 games.
These happen to be all on the defensive line.
Right. Moore happens to be out for substance abuse, Irving for PEDs. I'll respect Irving's 4-game suspension because he was trying to do something that helped.
He was trying to win.
He was trying to win. I'll give a PED suspension over a fucking pot suspension any day of the week.
Well, David
so
Irving
the defensive line, there's a lot of good questions. There's Taco Charlton there.
Taco time. I think we're going to get Taco Bueno as our sponsor.
And I feel like Taco Bueno should sponsor Drinking with the Boys.
Because what goes better with beer than tacos, right?
Well, I can think of a lot of things. It goes good with beer. Pizza, tacos, barbecue.
Football goes pretty good with
sex.
Football goes well.
Beer with sex.
That gets sloppy.
If you're in the right moment, between beer 4 and 7, you should be all right. Unless you're Corey and you drink a half a beer before you come over here, talk about eating mussels with God knows who, and then you're screaming at the top of your lungs.
I'm just really animated about this subject.
He's really loving it.
Finally, we're not talking about minor league baseball, goddammit.
Oh yeah, So yes, we've got.
The Cowboys have a lot of question marks on the defense.
Yes. But in the preseason, though, they looked good.
They did.
It's hard to judge a preseason game from a regular season game, as we can tell that happened Thursday night with the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots, which, if you want to hear about that, you should listen to my show with a tattoo artist called Pats and Tats, where we talk about tattoos and the Patriots. It's really not a show, but it could be. But back on, there's a lot of things that we can talk about. We got Jalen Smith that's back.
Yeah, so
finally
he had
playing some football.
Camp,
yes,
a great preseason.
Right.
He's going to be, it was Anthony Hitchens for the Cowboys who's going to miss maybe 8 games because of the knee injury.
Yes,
pretty serious. Not a necessarily.
But it wasn't torn, so that's good news.
Right. He was going to be a starting linebacker for the Cowboys, and having your starting linebacker is kind of helpful. Turns out you're going to have Jalen Smith, who also has severe question marks around his knee.
Yeah, his ankle. He's basically got a prosthetic brace that's acting as an ankle for him.
No, but he was doing great. And you know what? We're going to finally get to stop talking about Zeke because he's playing, the end. And we're going to start talking about how Jalen Smith is going to win Comeback Player of the Year because, he blew out his knee in the last game of college football.
Here's where I think it's going to be
a great story.
But here's where I think it's going to be interesting is to watch Dak Prescott this season. Dak, a lot of executives, owners, things like that are putting him at. They're putting him in like a tier 3 top.
I saw
2, 3.
Of that.
Yeah.
I saw something that a few weeks
where
ago
it's
about
basically
ranking all the quarterbacks.
Right, and so a lot of people say that what Dak Prescott did, which is it's always a topic with the Cowboys, is when you're with the Cowboys, you can't just be a good player. So last year Dak Prescott was the puppet of Jason Garrett and the offensive coordinators. Show and puppet play that they've made.
Right, go on.
So with and who was it before the running back that we had?
DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, DeMarco Murray.
Or then also the Arkansas guy.
DeMarco Murray. Yeah, he had that season where it was just crazy. They didn't sign him back.
Yeah, you're right.
And everybody was saying, they could come and get me with the O-line, and I could be a running back.
Right.
But then you see him with the past 2 seasons, he hasn't looked bad there either. So I'm thinking that they don't give enough credit to players for the Cowboys. Yeah. So I think this season will be interesting to watch to see if hopefully Dak doesn't have that sophomore slump where he's like, every pop band out there that releases their second album and it's a fucking flop.
No.
I hope
you watch the tape you know that that's a silly concern.
Right.
So Dak Prescott had basically the best rookie season as a quarterback in NFL history.
Right.
Second, he's
what was it,
1
like
and 1A.
What was it,
and
like
1B.
the first 6 games he didn't have an interception?
Maybe 7 or
something. Yeah,
but
it was
with Ben Roethlisberger and Cam Newton, some other first-round picks who had incredible rookie seasons in the NFL. Dak Prescott had that good of a season. Yes, he had a great running back. You know who else had a great running back with him? Troy Aikman. I mean, it's like yes, of course, the running back helps you immensely. And Zeke Elliott helped Dak Prescott immensely because Zeke Elliott might go off for 250 yards against the Giants tomorrow because he's so damn mad. And the Cowboys O-line is really good. But he took what he had, and in his fairly, hey, I'm a rookie and I might be kind of scared to make big mistakes and blow my chance, he did really good in that conservative effort. He didn't have any time in the training camp or in the preseason to get develop chemistry with his wide receivers. So later and later, he got better and better with Dez. Well, now he's had a full off season. He's got a lot of weapons on the offense. The Cowboys are taking play out of the Patriots playbook. The Patriots go with players like Wes Welker and Edelman, who blew out his knee in the preseason, and that's a whole other conversation. But they've got like Ryan Switzer and Cole Beasley. Those short white receivers who actually do really good in the slot. The Cowboys should, if their play calling isn't as boring and predictable as you could possibly draw it up, then the Cowboys should have one of the best and most efficient and effective offenses in the NFL.
Yes. So this may not be the time to bring it up, but I'm going to.
Why?
I'm going to. Do you think if this season ends like it did last season with the Cowboys, do you think this is going to surpass the Aikman, Irving, and Emmett era? Do you think they're going to become
ends like it did last season?
Yes. If they have as much success or this season, do you think that they're going to pass those guys
in renown, in fame, in status?
In just
that's what you're saying.
Yeah, in just their status.
Yeah, but those guys were winning Super Bowls. That's the end-all, be-all. I don't want to be Charles Barkley, rings, Ernie. It's not... Yeah, not everything goes back to the championships, but everything goes back to the championships.
I mean, Tony Romo will always be, no matter what anybody wants to say,
he was a great Cowboys quarterback. Who didn't win a Super Bowl and didn't get to a Super Bowl.
Before you had Aikman, Irving, and Emmett, you had
Staubach, Randy
White, Dorsett, and Pearson.
Yeah.
You had the Moose.
Tony Hill.
Yeah. You have all these guys. So where are they going to line up?
Right. The history books are being written as we speak. We're about to play the Giants. We're going to get our season off to a good start or a bad start. We're going to have a great second year, or we're going to have a disappointing second year. It's tough to speculate, but if it ends like it did in a heartbreak game to the Packers last year, and if we keep the Cowboys tradition of falling short in the playoffs that Tony Romo started, then no, you're always going to be below them. Yes, Zeke is arguably as talented, potentially, as Emmitt Smith.
Right.
He might have a better package of power and speed and agility and youth and toughness than Emmitt Smith did.
See, and that's the thing is that
Dez Bryant is not Michael Irvin. Dak Prescott could. I think the ceiling is Troy Aikman. I think the comparisons will be written and talked about for years and years and years and years. But if they never win a Super Bowl, they will always just be second place.
Right. I think that in terms...
Because the Cowboys won 3.
Exactly. But the thing that I love about this is that with how they were playing last